Hey, what up, y'all? Back with new content TV, man. Please subscribe to the channel, right, y'all? Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Rodney Hinton situation. This black man had his child killed by an Ohio deputy. They showed a video of the teens running out the vehicle. Yeah, the teen that had he had a gun. He had a gun. When it comes to find out, when they reviewed the video, that the kid never pointed the gun at officers. You know, most of the time when you're in the heat, in a situation like that where it's scary, adrenaline is pumping. When you're a young kid and your mind is not all the way developed where you can think fast, think clearly, and this is the results. So it was confirmed that the kid never pointed the gun at officers, because the kid was shot in the back. Okay, the kid was shot in the back. The kid would just he was running away in fear. He didn't know what to do with the weapon. I guess he would just try to get rid of the weapon. He didn't want the officers to find a weapon in the vehicle. He was he was going to throw it somewhere in the grass or something like that. Who knows? You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people say, well, he had a gun. See, the thing is this, man. That's the difference between military training and police officer training, man. Most of the time we don't fire until we get fired upon. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, when it comes to operations in the military, you have to get permission to even engage the enemy. You know what I mean? With the police department, man, these are people that never grew up in low income communities. They don't know they don't know the people, the community, the people in the community that they serve under. Most of these people are raised by parents that still have the 1970s, 1980s mentality. And it's a lot of fear when it comes to being a police officer, dealing with an ethnicity that you don't understand, that you don't know, and that you hear a lot of stereotypes about. So it makes a lot of cops edgy, uncomfortable, and scared. And just because they're police officers doesn't mean that they're not scared. When they interact with certain ethnicities, they are scared. That's why they're so quick to point their weapon and shoot, because they're scared because of the stories they've been told about a certain ethnicity of people. You know what I mean? And the movies that they see, some of these people, they believe the movies, they believe the stories. They just assume that everybody's like that. So when the situation happened, when the kid got shot in the back, man, and the parents found out that the kid never pointed the gun at the officers, it sent a rage to Rodney Hinton's mind. He blacked out. That's what we call, this is the definition of a crash out. Some parents love their kids so much, man, that they will give their life for their kids. You got a lot of kids out there that wish they had parents that love them that deeply. You got parents out there that are lacking in their responsibilities and things like that. And then you have you have parents like Rodney Hinton that will go all out for their kid. I saw some of the pictures. The kid was athletic, played football. Yeah, he made some mistakes. Who didn't? We, as kids, we done a lot of bad things as kids, man. We just never got caught. That's all. Most of these cops did a lot of things in their lives, man, growing up, that they just haven't been caught. They've done something. They stole. They've done something. You know what I mean? They've done something wrong. But when it comes to God's eyes, they're not perfect. In God's law, right? Even if they never stole or unalived anybody, right? In God's eyes, stealing, even thinking sexually of a woman, and hatred, that's in God's eye. That's a death sentence. That's a sin. So whose standard are we going by? We going on the standard of God, or we going to the standard of man? Because the standard of God is that we all are not perfect. We all are evil. We all are sinners until we come to repentance of Christ. We need the repentance of Christ, man. That's just the bottom line. You know, this, and that's why I would say, man, a lot of atheists always wanna criticize and talk about Christians, man. And they talk like they got the answers. But when you got situations like this, where race is involved, they don't have the answers for this. You could have a collective of people, and they will never agree in their worldview. They think that they are morally correct in their worldview. That you don't need a God. You don't need there's no lawgiver. There's no God that gives morality. That's what they think. And when you have a mentality like that, you have the situation like this. This is the situation you have, man. I wanna show you guys a video, right? I want to show you guys a video, man, of the parents, not only the parents, but the family of Rodney Hinton not allowed in the court, man, because there were so many officers in the court, right? And I'm gonna show you guys the video, and I'm gonna come back with my thought, man. Y'all check it out.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I think under the plane of law. Open my phone. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all cool. I just want my brother to see me. Take a breather. I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. My brother can't see me. They did this shit before. They did this shit before.
That's not the way to do it.
They did it before. I got a video of them messing with my brother and me before. I ain't do nothing. I just wanted my brother to see me. I ain't do nothing to them. That's my family. That's my family in that store.
Come on.
Ray, please. Doing all that. Man, see me one-on-one, man. I got 40 motherfuckers here for my brother, man.
Yeah, so you had the cops, man, instead of just de-escalating the situation, right? They're showing a lot of emotions, man. That's just to let you know that the cops ain't no better than nobody, man. It don't matter training in the world, right? That's going to take away your human emotions, right? And you're supposed to be a professional. You're supposed to put your feelings to the side, man, and be a professional. You know what I'm saying? So these cops, right, allowed their emotions to take over them instead of de-escalating. It don't matter. You got to understand, man, like both sides lost someone, right? Okay, but everybody in there are fathers, just like the deputy that passed away as well as a father. I'm pretty sure he probably got kids or something like that. We all are parents, man. You know what I mean? And instead of just de-escalating and grieving and just try to calm down the crowd and try to calm down the situation, man, these cops decided to amp it up. You know what I mean? That's why it kind of changed my mind when I started watching how police interact with the public, man, through the years and everything like that. I always say that, man, one day I want to be law enforcement, man. I changed my mind, man, because I didn't want to be part of an organization, man, that just hates the public. You know what I'm saying? And I just gonna call it what it is, man. And it's not all cops, I get it, but it's the majority of them. It's a majority of them, man. I had a couple of interactions, man, with officers, man, that you know what I mean, thank goodness, because of my cool head and my de-escalation skills, it's like I'm better trained than they are. You know what I mean? I use my head to to get out of those cops situation where they try to trap me into doing something stupid. I just outsmarted them every time I come in contact with them, man. And a lot of times, man, see, the thing is that a lot of people need training on how to deal with cops. You know what I mean? Racist cops, biased cops, man, aggressive cops. I dealt with all three and got out of there, you know what I mean? And got out of there, man, where nothing happened to me because I know how to talk to them. You know what I mean? And I think the minorities in the communities need this type of training. You know what I mean? And that's just to show you, man, that these cops don't know. All they know is aggression. They think they're a military force, man. Y'all a public servant. See, that's why they hated Jesus so much, because he was that's why he's so humble, because he was a servant. He didn't go around pushing his weight around, you know. And a lot of times, man, Jesus called us to be servants, man. And these cops are not servants. They're not servants, man. They want to go out there, man, and they want to bully people. They think they know everything. They don't, you know what I mean? They want to bully you into a ticket to an arrest, you know? And they are lucky they didn't kill the wrong kid. Because he could have been somebody like the DC sniper kid, you know? He could have just been a military guy that just took his rifle and started sniping cops only. Now, what would happen now if that would have happened? You got a well-trained veteran with a sniper rifle unaliving cops one by one, using all his skills that he's been trained, because you were aggressive to or killed one of their family members. Who's to blame? That's why I said you must treat people like you treat yourself. Who said that? God did. Love others as you love yourself. Treat your neighbors as you love yourself. And none of this will happen. None of this hate and racism will happen if you just do what Christ said. It's real simple. You know what I mean? But nah. Ego and pride. Pride comes before the fall. You know? Pride comes before the fall, man. You know? And bullying these people out of the courtroom and everything like that. Instead of just talking to them and like, listen, man, we get it, man. You know, we lost people on both sides, man. You know, we're grieving, you know, and instead of just sitting next to the family, you know what I mean, and just talking to them and asking them if anything we can do and things like that, I'm pretty sure they will turn around and give that same treatment to the police officer. Like, listen, man, you know, I know my family member did this, man. You know, we on behalf of our family, we apologize. You know what I mean? If you treat people nice, man, they will return treat you nice, man. That would have been a good way to show the public that cops care about the community. That was your opportunity, man, and they blew it. They should have took that opportunity right there and held the family members' hands and be like, listen, man, the violence stops today. Let's come together as one. Let's love each other. Let's hold hands. Let's pray. That would have been a good image for media. You know what I mean? That would have been a good image for media. That was going to show right there that love and respect wins. You know what I'm saying? But we got pride. We got racism. We got the devil's, Satan's agenda at play. You get confusion. You get division, you get chaos, you get fighting amongst men that Christ died for. He died for the sins, you know? And look what we have here, man. You know what I mean? Nobody wins, man. And this is what happens, man. See, it's a reason why God said treat others the way you want to be treated, because if you don't, these are the outcomes. This is why I know God knows what he's talking about. Because if you just treat others the way you want to be treated, nobody will have to take revenge on nobody. You know what I'm saying? You know? So if you treat this father kid like that, he's going to return and treat your group like that. What they call it? Eye for an eye? You know? And I'm not condoning both sides at all. You know? Cops need better training. cops need better training, man. Yeah. The kid ran away with a gun, but he never turned his back to fight on the cops, man. You know what I'm saying? He never turned around to fight on the cops. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is, man. And when the parent found out that the kid never turned around and fired, that was it, man. That set off the whole thing. That man was sitting in the car, man. Probably took his last cigarettes, like set it off, like Queen Latifah did, man. Got in that car real slow. Probably shed a tear or two because he knew his life was over with. You know what I mean? And killed that cop. Yeah, man. It's and most of those cops that were in that courtroom would have done the same thing. Would have done the same thing, man. Would have done the same thing. They would have crashed out. Most of those cops that's in that courtroom would have done the same thing. Or something similar to it. Best believe it. Best believe it. They either would have took it out on the person that killed their son, or they would have probably just took some counseling, went back to the job, and targeted every black person they see. Either way, those cops would have took revenge. For sure. Somehow, they would have took some type of revenge. Believe me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So, is the father justified? Yes. Yes. The father was justified, man. You know what I mean? These are the results when you go against God's laws. The results is sin. And that's what he did. He committed sin because they didn't follow the law. You know? So, there you have it. You know? Yeah, man. You know? So, rest in peace to the young man. Rest in peace to the deputy that lost his life. You know what I mean? And cops got to understand, man, the way you behave in public is going to put your fellow officers in a situation fighting because of your actions. I'm going to say it again. Officers, when you're out there in the streets, man, you got to think about your co-workers. Because whatever action you take in the streets, man, that's unfair, that's biased and racist, it's going to come back on your co-workers. All right? We've seen it happen plenty of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Donner. I mean, not Christopher Donner. I'm sorry. I said Christopher Donner. Not Christopher Donner. I'm sorry, man. Oh, man. What's that guy's name, man? It's a police officer, LAPD officer, man. I think it was LAPD, man. He went on a rampage because he went to go report misbehavior in the department, and they fired him. He was a Navy veteran, and they fired him, and he turned around and started unaliving police officers until they finally caught him in the mountains, and he was trapped in some cabin. And he was a veteran too, man. And he ended up getting into multiple gunfights with officers, and he came out of there. And he was well trained, so that's why they didn't go in that cabin. So instead, they threw in flashbangs in the cabin, and the cabin caught on fire, killing the man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So police officers gotta understand, man. Like, just because you wear a badge, don't think that the country won't descend on you. You know what I mean? Like, y'all got to think, like, what makes y'all think that y'all protected by a badge? Like, I don't understand why cops drive around and ride around like nothing can happen to them. Like the police can't grab weapons and just pretty much just take over the law enforcement to the point where they have to call the National Guard. Now you got a third world country. It's that simple. All they got to do is mess with the wrong group. They're going to do a militia uprising. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, I don't want that to happen, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want that to happen. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, the cops, man, they worry me, man. Like, every time they're out there in the streets, they worry me because I feel like one day they're going to do something where I got to defend my home because people are upset at the police. Not that they're mad at me, but because they want to loot. They want to just burn everything down because of anger. They want to take the anger out of on whatever they see. And now I got to defend myself because of action what a police officer did. That's why I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? They're going to spark, you know what I mean? They're going to spark a situation where, you know what I mean? Where everybody's going to go crazy, right? And pretty much they just want to just attack everyone. You know what I mean? And everybody has to just defend themselves because of an action what a police officer did. For y'all cops out there that's hot-headed, man, and I was looking for trouble, man, and doing stupid stuff in the beat, y'all better stop, man, because one day y'all gonna end up doing something stupid, man, and y'all gonna cause the public to just burn the city down, man. You know what I mean? Burn the country down. You know what I mean? Y'all need to stop it, man, for real. You know? Y'all need to be professionals, man, and stop being racist and biased. Because I don't have time to be defending my home because of something you did. Anyway, y'all, this is Back with New Content TV, man. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all? Holla at me.